I'm Troy Baker. I'm doing Experts React to Last of Us because I played Joel. Let's get into it. With this time jump that we see from the first picture that we get of Joel as a loving soccer dad to now this gun-running smuggler that is feared by everyone in this quarantine zone, you have to ask, how did we get here? So when we were filming this, I was an actor who had a role in a great story. And Neil was a father that was wrestling with a hypothetical of what do I look like in the event that I lose my daughter?
I think
we see this is a story of redemption.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
That's all we need to see right there to set up everything about who these two people are. This scene still gets me. Neil had this idea to pick up Sarah and have Joel, carry her off to bed. As we are doing this, we're figuring out the mechanics of it because we're in a mocap suit. We don't have the head-mounted cam, so there's not a camera here. So we're able to really get close and actually how a dad would carry his 12-year-old daughter.
Good night, baby girl.
The line was good night. And I said, good night, baby girl. And Neil goes, what did you say? And I said, I don't know, what did I say? They played it back and he goes, what was the last part? I said, oh, baby girl, that's just like a Texas thing. And he goes, that's it. That's what you're going to call Sarah. My experience is that I'm ready for the role when we're done. Now I can go back and shoot this. We were filming The Last of Us, but obviously we weren't going to put what we shot on that day in the game. It had to go and be synthesized through the process of so many other people's talent and skill. And then it's in the hands of the people that are playing it. And now the story evolves. And now here we are over 10 years after this game has come out. And now it's a different story. Now we have this whole new show and a whole new audience and people that weren't even, as I hear all the time, I wasn't allowed to play The Last of Us when it came out, but now I am. To think about the profundity of this moment that we're shooting and having zero idea of what it was going to become, we weren't ready for that and we didn't need to be, but we are now.
What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something right with them. I think they're sick.
I'm kind of sick.
I was so focused on the action of what was happening, and this is one of our first big action scenes that we did where, there's somebody coming through and there's a lot that we need to establish quickly. We need to establish what is happening in the game, in the world. But then there's this amazing moment that I didn't understand as an actor until I became a parent. And it's the way that he talks to Sarah.
This morning.
Listen to me. There is something bad going on. We've got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
We have got to get out of here. And what was funny is the only way that I knew how to synthesize that note was through anger. And so it was really coming across like Joel was mad at Sarah. And Neil was like, you're mad, but you can't be loving and protective. You have to be firm. I understand that now, where it's not anger, it's urgency.
Where the hell you been? You have any idea what's going on out there?
I cannot say enough about Jeff. Jeff has been in every way a brother to me in this. We got to workshop this scene specifically, and it's like, we know that Hannah's going to be in the back, and we're on set filming this, and we're like, okay, you guys are in a truck. We're not having the benefit of any of these visuals in front of us. And we're still trying to figure out and design because this is happening in gameplay, right? So we know that player is behind Sarah and they can turn and look, but they can't move. And at some point, we're going to hit this huge set piece where we discover how bad this has gotten. What would people actually say in this moment? So this was like a really good experiment and an iteration on the process of how are we going to shoot this game, because so much of it was driven by the necessitations of the game and a cinematic moment inside of the game, but we still needed it to feel like it was accomplishing both a gameplay need and also a narrative need.
Oh, this is bad. Everyone and their mother had the same idea.
I think about this moment between Joel and Tommy. where it's, two brothers trying to solve the same problem in two different ways, and they're jockeying for position. What I love is that by all rules, Tommy should be in the passenger seat and Joel should be in the driver's seat. But what we see here is that Tommy's driving, and Joel even says, just drive. So Joel is taking care of Sarah, but still trying to control the situation. Tommy is driving and trying to be the problem solver as well. And the difference that we see here between an uncle and a father is in a moment where he brings this up and he's like, man, they're saying this is really bad. You see a father look at Tommy and go, shut up, because you're scaring my daughter.
Did they say how many are dead?
Probably a lot. They found this one family all mangled inside their
Tommy's.
house. Right. Sorry.
We filmed this scene so many times, trying to get it right.
Hey.
Is their arm going to be broken? Is their leg going to be broken? What's wrong with Joel? We have to figure out all of these different things, how we get out, because this is one of our first gameplay moments with Joel. Now we're playing as Joel, right? Everybody who's ever done motion capture, performance capture, or whatever, probably has either at least a bruise or a scar in their lower back from when we go up against truck or a piece of furniture or a wall that's just kind of like a 2x4 plywood set, and everybody goes, there it is. It just, your back makes contact in such a way that you're like, I just earned my stripes because I got the bruise on the back. Whoa.
They're getting closer. Dad?
Ruben Langdon.
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey, we need help.
Stop!
Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
Okay. We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians in the outer perimeter. Please advise.
Daddy, what about Uncle Tommy?
We're gonna get you to safety and go back where I am, okay?
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Somebody, we've just been through hell. Okay, we just need... Please don't. Oh, no. Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. God. Listen to me. I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby. I know it hurts. Come on, baby. Please. I know, baby. I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, no, no. Please. Oh, God. Please. Please. Please don't do this. Please.
We would shoot typically once a month. We would come in on a Wednesday and rehearse. We would shoot Thursday and Friday. And he said, just to let you know, we're going to, that scene is up in the next shoot block. I was like, okay, understood. Thank you. And I came in just already filled with my own ideas and my own emotion and worked up. And we go through the scene, and I mean, take one, I just lose it. I just scream, wail. And I'll never forget hearing Neil go, cut. I want to go again. What? I just want to go again. And we do it again and again and again, 7, 8 takes. And I'm crying in between scenes. I was like, this is really hard. And he says, I know. And we do it again. And finally, like 7th or 8th take, he goes, I think we got it. Thank you. And then like 3 months later, Neil comes to me and he goes, so we need to reshoot a scene. And I was like, dude, don't do this to me. And I said, why? And he goes, I've been, looking at it a lot. There's a couple things that I just want to try again. I was like, okay. So we come in, we go through it again. Second or third take, and he comes to me and he says, I'm picking up on some resistance. And I was like, you're goddamn right you're picking up on some resistance. We've got this in the can. I know it, you know it, and we're wasting everybody's time because we have it. He goes, here's what I have. I have a man broken.
Please.
I'm like, yeah, his daughter just died. And he said, here's what I don't have. What's happening? This is happening. I can fix it. It's not working. She's going, she's gone, I'm broken. And he said, you know, the one thing you haven't done this entire time is you haven't just looked at her. You've looked everywhere else. You've cried to the heavens. You've looked at Tommy. You closed your eyes, but you've never just looked at her.
Come on, baby, please. I know, baby.
And now as a dad, I understand if I had few fleeting moments with my son, there's nothing else in the world that would be more important to me than just looking at him. And one more thing, I think in a lot of ways, that scene hits harder for me because of all of the stories of all of the parents that have come up to me since this game has come out and said, man, you have helped so much, and this game has helped so much. One dad in particular in Indiana, where he came up to me and said, I had a daughter right when this game came out, and I got to that scene and I put the controller down and I went into her room and I picked her up and I just held her and cried. And I've been playing games my whole life, man. And I knew that games could entertain me, they could challenge me, they could build a community. I could learn something from them, I could feel a sense of accomplishment. But man, I had no idea that games could teach me this. And I think that's one of the things that makes this game so special. I'm a big stealth guy. I love stealth. This is one of the other things that I loved about this game is that it gave me the opportunity for me to decide my playing style, as well as it really let you feel it. You know, that I've done cover-based shooters and running guns and even beat 'em ups, but there was something different about, hey, the best way for you to do this is not to run and gun, and we're going to give you a few bullets to maybe get through this whole entire level. Your best bet is to use diversion, evasion, and if you have to attack somebody, you better do it quietly. This is all up close and personal. There's a difference between shooting someone and stabbing them.
Come on now. Get on up.
Away from
Hey! Let her go.
What a great, looking back at this scene, it does so much heavy lifting in world building.
What happened?
Don't worry, this is fixable. I got his help.
We weren't even aware of what it was going to mean to us in retrospect. Like, there's no way we could have known, hey,
Then I'm staying.
Ellie.
this is all the stuff that we can do with this character Marlene. This is all the stuff that we can do with Tess. Like, there was so much. And again, for like HBO to take those ideas and extrapolate on them so much, it's so fun to look back and see the seed of what this scene was and obviously what it grew into. I remember when we finally had the name for those. We're like, what are we going to call these things? And Neil knew that he didn't want to call them zombies. We started getting further along in the process to where it's like, okay, now we have a name. It's The Last of Us. It's like, ooh, what does that mean? You know, it's like, we're now going to call these things infected. And that gives us like the umbrella for which to work off of. And we know that we want to have different types of enemies. So what kind of enemies do we have? It's like clickers. It's like, why? It's like, because they use echolocation to be able to find you. Even just that name starts informing gameplay. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Sort of. They see using sound.
Now, we tried. Let's just go home.
I'm not going anywhere.
We saw so many people for Tess, and we only needed to see one, because when Annie walked in, it was just like, that's it. And there was just this instant click. She was able to bring this vulnerability and strength in the same time, where you wanted to trust her, and you knew you could follow her, and you better not fuck with her.
You don't want to do this.
I can find.
No, just go! Just go.
Where he did so many versions of this, where Joel's emotional, Joel's angry, he's stone-faced, he's cold. right there. Ah. When she just steels herself and turns in, is like, bring it on. Go out fighting, girl. I'm a big fan of how resources in the world are finite and can only be used a certain amount of times, and then also being able to upgrade those. Everything in this world is about economy of resources. We definitely knew early on, like, it was a core philosophy of gameplay. You're going to have a revolver that would have a few bullets in it. Like, obviously, there's not going to be an abundance of resources in this world. Everything from food, medicine, ammunition, people. It's going to be, you're going to feel cold, hungry, afraid, alone.
Ellie, come on.
I did not have to hang upside down for this. I would love to take credit for it. I did not. What a great choice to keep the player on the stick for this. We need to keep them engaged, and to just cruel to do this. It's like, not only are you going to have to fight with finite amount of resources, but you now also need, there's this, the first moment where we're really truly protecting Ellie. We've gone from just escorting her to now protecting her, and you got to do it while you're hanging upside down. That was just a great way to build upon an already awesome mechanic of being a shooter. And I love how it doesn't force you to protect Ellie, but it naturally makes you go, I want to. Because you don't have to do that, right? If I don't care about her, I can just let the infected get her and just focus on myself. But at that point, it becomes earned. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta protect Ellie. That's what we call an IGC, an Indian cinematic. So it's something that happens, we film it cinematically, but it's a quick time event, right? So that's a button mash that the player has to get through, but it's actually something that we shot.
Thanks for the heroics and all.
This is our first scene to shoot together. So there's still so much that we're trying to figure out. So we were very early on in filming the game, but we knew that this level would exist. And we knew that Joel and Ellie would leave the quarantine zone. They would go to seek help for someone who was outside of it.
I see so much as a threat.
Oh man, true story. We always want to keep our actors safe. Ashley is a very engaged actor. She hit Bill. He was totally fine, but needless to say, his performance in the rest of that scene was authentic. We worked a lot. We shot this concurrently, so we had our incredible stunt team. Like, what does this fight look like? And so much of this is really kind of, I think, where in this scene is where Ellie was born, out of Ashley's creation, because it was Ashley who said she would fight back. I'm a big fan of that front kick. Again, our stunt coordinator helped us fight that, and he's like, "We'll teach you how to do a front kick." I would love to be heroic and say that, I could last, but I just don't think that I would. I don't do well without my phone for a little while.
I hate these things.
This is how I play games. I'm a big camper. Like, I will find my sniper's nest and I'll just stay up there. So when I got this, I was like, this is exactly the kind of gameplay that I love. The music part of Joel is something that represents him aspiring to be the better version of himself. How can I woo the girl? How can I show my softer side? Because it is so much easier to show my harder side. And I think that music for him is that. I think being a good old boy from Texas, he loves just some good old, Hank Williams Sr., probably kick back with some George Strait, like a good old country, not new country, old country.
Joel?
I'm gonna need you to pull.
Okay. Wait, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Let's get to the horse.
Incapacitate him was, again, something that was early on. We knew that we were going to get to this point where Joel was not going to be capable of defending, and we're going to watch as the role of protector switched to Ellie.
The exit. Just a little bit more, come on.
To go from black, to it fading up, and you see Ellie fighting for yourself, and to realize that's how we were going to transition. It's so great. Oh, we're already here. All right, Scalpel Man. Good luck. Good luck with that.
I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
And that is how you set up a sequel.
Come on, baby girl. I got you.
Yeah, so at this point, we knew that we were going to have this scene where you're going to have to escape. You will have done your fighting, and now it's just get the hell out of there. And you're carrying Ellie as you leave. And so typically what would happen is they would get kind of an early rough version of what the gameplay would look like. And Neil would come in and go, I just want you to have this. This is your intention. Comfort her, even though she's unconscious. Let her know it's going to be okay. Give me a sense that you're lost.
Look. You can still
Who is it?
do the right thing here. She won't feel anything.
Could have been a better choice. Don't show it. Cut to this. What did he do? What did he do moment, as opposed to we saw what he did, until you hear her stirring in the back seat.
Just take it easy. Drugs are still wearing off.
What happened?
We found the fireflies.
That moment for Joel to tell the lie.
Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie.
Again, the scene is so fleshed out, so worked out, but at the same time, there's so much room for us to just explore and go, what does it look like? What is happening in this moment?
They've stopped looking for a cure.
And for me, it was always, he's even apologizing in that moment. I'm sorry that I had to do this. I'm sorry. But there's literally no other option that he can see for himself. How do I tell you that I can't go through that again? I'm too much of a coward to lose someone again. And that's the reality of it, is that someone said, Joel could have saved the whole world. And I've always felt that he did. It's just that that whole world was the little girl.
I'm taking this home. I'm sorry.
Swear to me that everything that you've said about the fireflies is true.
I swear.
Right there, you don't believe it.
Okay.
Ashley Johnson. What I love about that moment is I'll never forget asking or telling Neil, is like, people are going to be pissed when they get to this ending. He goes, love it or hate it, I don't care. I just don't want them to be ambivalent. I don't want them to be like, I don't get it. And whether or not we hit the mark, I've never seen anyone who says that we didn't. If you made it through, thank you very much for watching as I cried a lot, laughed a little with The Last of Us Part 1. If you have a story about The Last of Us, share it with me. I'd love to hear it. Reach out on socials at official Troy Baker on Instagram and TikTok.